Do you understand how the information from building controllers is transferred to the web so you can access it from anywhere in the world? If not, this video is just to break down the basic concepts. This isn't exhaustive, but it's just to give you an idea of how it can work. So, first things first, we have this building IT firewall. We're going to say anything to the right is the building that you're working in. Your home is down here. We have the internet and we have these DNS servers up here. This laptop here is the exact same laptop as here. You brought it from home because you want to get this system set up and working. So now you have this laptop. So your work laptop, you have the software on there to program the controllers, and you have specific program on there to program front ends. So in this case, a server. So whether that's a Jace or a Windows appliance with IntelliFront, whatever the case may be, you have two different pieces of software on your computer. Let's say this is your first time or it's your 100th time, but you need technical help. In that case, I would recommend having some type of desktop recording software. I like using OBS Studio. When you do remote support, you can go through GoToMeeting or Microsoft Teams and you can record that video. I just like using OBS Studio because then when I'm on the job site, if I'm having problems, I can record what I'm seeing and then email that video. So I just use OBS Studio. Let's say we need to get technical help and we want to go to our search engine. And in this case, we're hooked to the building Wi Fi. You could be hooked to your hotspot on your phone, but we type in www.google.com. That goes to the internet router for the building, goes through the firewall out to this domain name server. So, what is a DNS or domain name server? Think of it as like a contacts list in your cell phone. They used to compare this to a phone book, but I haven't seen a new phone book in a long time. So let's think contact list in your cell phone. It just resolves the name to an actual number. In this case, Google's DNS server is 8.8.8.8. That comes back. Now, you have to register with that. So this DNS server knows that this is Google's DNS server. So we get that information back to the computer. It's going out to the internet. You're getting all this communication. Now we are using a specific piece of software again to program this controller. This controller is going to be set up as BACnet MSTP or Master Slave Token Protocol, and it's going to be an RS-485 network, and you can run up to 4,000 feet or 1,200 meters. You can have up to 32 devices, let's say, on this network, and then we need to be able to get that information to this server. Now, there's multiple ways for that to happen. There could be a BACnet router built into this. If this was a Jace, it can have a BACnet router built into it. I just broke the router out just to show what has to happen. So we're taking this MSTP information and we're converting it to BACnet IP, which is something the computer can understand. So we have this set up as 192.168.1.1. This little server is set up as 192.168.1.2. And it's serving the web page on port 443. So we converted all this information up through here. We used our computer. We programmed this server to serve up web pages from this information. And we're serving it up on 192.168.1.2 and then this port 443. This isn't going to be your address. This is just to break it down. When you're hooked to the switch, you can have this server hooked to the switch. You could take this straight to the switch and they could talk to each other on the same subnet. Or maybe you have two ports on this server. This is plugged into one, and then this is plugged into the other port. A lot of times I like to have at least two ports here so I can plug this router in and I can plug this in and I can leave my spare port open so when you're on site, you can plug your computer into it. So let's say that's what we did. So instead of this going straight to here, this comes over here. We're on the same subnet. This whole area here is where the IT professionals are going to protect. So you have to get that information from them. They're going to tell you what to use for IP addresses. They're going to break these ports out into a VLAN or virtual local area network, and they're going to protect this. This can become very difficult. This is a simplified version. This is not what it's going to look like. There's going to be a lot more steps because they got to keep people from hacking that building. So they're going to make it hard, which is good. That's their job. So let's say you're at home and you want to access this web page. You have to go to your address bar and type in that exact IP address. So with the port number. So you guys put 192.168.1.2 and then colon, which signifies the port 443. You go out through your home Wi-Fi router, you go up through the internet. If IT lets you through this firewall and into the router is going to then forward, it's going to be set up to port forward to 443, which is this specific port, and you're going to be able to see that web page come through here. This isn't going to go up to the DNS server because this isn't going to be registered with the DNS most likely. So you have to have that exact IP address. You can't just type in this building name and then expect the DNS server to know that you meant that address. But this again is just the basic. The IT professionals, again, this part is going to be protected and you're going to have to deal with them. And I would recommend start dealing with them right away when you get on the job site because this can take some time.